Hello, and thanks for stopping by. So for this layout today, I am using an A to Z paper crafting challenge that was up for the NSD, or National Scrapbooking Day, crop that my friend Anis and a bunch of other awesome women did virtually via Facebook. So it has all kinds of prompts for every letter of the alphabet, and I got all but two included in this layout. So for this layout, I am using the May Hip Kit Club, and this is my last kit that I'm receiving from the Hip Kit. So I really wanted to use it. I love this floral paper. It's so pretty. And one of the prompts was to use something that was plaid, to mix plaid and floral. So this was like perfect. This paper was both. One side it was plaid, the other side it was floral. So, or at least that's what I consider plaid. I don't know if everybody else does. So I'm going to start ticking away at everything that I'm using, and you'll see this paper come out a couple other times. You can check out Anis's YouTube channel, which she just started recently. So jump on over to her channel and like and subscribe. I'm sure she would really appreciate it. And so yeah, so I'm one of the prompts was to use something ombre, and I had this paper from an old Hip Kit Club, and I'm also using a actually that's the pink paisley, which was in a Hip Kit Club. It's a Paige Evans paper. I'm also using, I believe that's Claire, the template that I used. I will link everything I use in the description. I don't have them in front of me, so I have to go back and look and see what everything is. So, but definitely if you're interested in any of it, you can send me a leave me a comment or send me a message, and I will get back to you if I don't have a link for it down below. So I kind of wanted to, one of the prompts was journaling, so I'm going to use this journaling card, and it also, another different prompt was to use a Kiwi Lane paper. So this is a Kiwi Lane Bloom, I believe it's called, paper kit. And it was perfect for this layout, since I am scrapbooking my first bloom of the spring in our new house. I have no idea what's coming up, what isn't going to come up, because we have no clue as far as what kind of landscaping or what kind of flowers they had in the past. So it's been an interesting adventure the past couple of month rather. Since I live in New Jersey, things are just blooming now. So these are tulips that I, cut from my garden. They were out there for a few days, and one of my best friends said to me, "Why don't you cut them? It's going to get cold. They're going to die. So at least cut them and enjoy them in your house." And I was like, "Oh, she's so smart. Let me do that." So I did that, and I mounted my 4 pictures on the one of the papers from the Kiwi Bloom kit. So now I was just checking to see what else I can do. I'm going to start gluing things down. I've already inked all my edges with Tim Holtz Distress ink in my favorite Hickory Smoke. And just going to stick everything down. And this was a easy layout to create. I did use a sketch, which I will link down below, and or actually I will try to see if I can include it in this video. So if you see it in the video, yay me, I figured it out. So I am going to use a Charmed 3 and the Blossom 4. And I figured that yellow spot right on the top, it needed something. So that is where this little flower, which I will be making 3-dimensional, One of the prompts is to use a 3D pop dot. So I am going to use a 3D foam dot or foam square or whatever they're called for it. So to make it a layered flower, all you need to do is cut as many as you need. Like for example, for this flower, I just need 2. But if you wanted to make it a 3-colored flower, then you would do it 3 times. So I am cutting each, like the left and the right portion of this flower, out of a lighter piece of paper, and I am going to pop it up. And you really can't tell the color that they look alike, because I wanted to use some of that pink ombre paper to bring that color over to my left side of my page. So here I'm popping it up, and it makes a really cute embellishment. Simple, didn't really take much, thought, and I have a cute little flower. Now I'm looking for the green paper so I can do my stem and my leaves, which I'm also going to show you a way that I give them a little dimension. And don't mind my fussy cutting. I'm going to trim this out, and then I'm going to ink all my edges. And what I do is, for the leaf, I kind of, with my fingers, I try to fold it in half. And I don't think I did it for this one. I think I do it on the other leaves. Yeah, I didn't do it on this one. So that's going to live there. And I add some foam dots to the top portion of my my leaf there so that they pop up a little bit. And now I'm thinking that I want to use that yellow plaid paper, so I could include some yellow on the right side of the page, which I end up doing that tab and cutting it out and using it at the bottom of my page. Eventually the date that these pictures were taken will live on that little tab. So next, oh, here we go. We're gonna check off some more stuff. And okay, so one of the prompts was to use the quirky template. And also there was something to do some heat embossing, to heat emboss an image or a sentiment. So here I'm trying to figure out what I want to use from Quirky. I end up using the 3 little diamonds right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off, and you're going to see me use a piece of the pink paper because I wanted to try it out on something else just in case I didn't like it. So I'm going to mask off around it so I don't, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat emboss it. So I masked around it, and I take I have a couple Versamark embossing pads, and I use the smaller one because it'll be easier to manipulate and to control my dabbing of it. So just dab some ink. You can also use a regular ink pad to do this. So many different options that you can use. So I'm going to use some clear embossing powder, and I'm going to heat emboss it, and then I'm going to cut them out so they will look like shiny little elements on my page. And it gives it a little bit of a raised feel to it, so they're not completely flat. Almost the same as using like a glossy accent or something in that family. But with this, it dries instantly, whereas if you did a glossy accent, with my luck, it would be smeared everywhere. I am not good with those type of wet things that you have to wait long periods of time for. So I'm going to glue this down with my fine line, which has the art glitter glue in it, and you just saw a quick look of it. And I'm going to mark off a couple things here. And the next thing I brought up the Springtime 2T, which is a little bird. And I was thinking of using that there, but then I decided that my title was going to live there. And I can't see which flower this is, but I actually end up cutting it out and embossing that, heat embossing that as well. So just give me a second and you're going to see that all pop up. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. I love creating content and hopefully inspiring some of you to create. With Kiwi Lane and without Kiwi Lane, I have my moments where my creativity, it bounces back and forth, and I just go with the flow. So I'm going to emboss these little hearts, and I'm using a Inka Dinka Do, and I believe that was a Pearl Essence embossing powder. And I'm just going to use this stamp pad and stamp my image. And I'm just going to add my embossing powder. And what's cool about it is that it gives you like a double, a multicolored paper, because if you use clear or pearlescent, it just darkens the background color a little bit. So you can see the little hearts popping up. This is a really cool way to make your own background paper, or to like if you wanted to spice up a tag or something that you may have cut out. It's an awesome way of doing it. Look through your arsenal. I'm sure you have some sort of stamp, or you have you have ink pads. I don't think you really need to use a Versamark. You can heat emboss with any type of ink that stays wet a little longer, which I believe pigment ink would be the other option. Try it. What's the worst that could happen? It doesn't work. Sometimes you gotta try new things. So one of the other prompts was use vellum. So I'm going to cut out 2 flowers out of vellum, and I'm just going to use them behind my flowers. And you'll see me cut that out. So this layout is coming together pretty quickly. There's just a little bit, the titling and my journaling, and I will be cutting out some leaves, and that's about it. So I use a little bit of, a little dab of glue in the back, and I offset the flowers so that, the vellum would be behind, so you could see it, right? And that's where and I'm going to transpose. The light one will be on the bottom, and the darker flower will be on top, so that it stands out more on my background paper. So this layout's coming along pretty quickly, and basically all that's left is my titling. I will be stamping the date, and I will be also using some Heidi Swap gold color shine spray to do some sparkly, as well as adding some dots, some enamel dots. I wanted to take a moment to just say thanks to my friend T for the awesome Sweet Petunia 12 by 12 Misty. She's always trying to find ways to cheer me up, especially now that since my mom passed about 2 weeks ago from COVID-19, and she's always, finding ways to keep me crafting. It's been rough. It's been a rough couple weeks. So thanks for watching. I'm trying to get back into a schedule. Bear with me. These days have been really rough. Have a great day and stay safe.